Hello, all you coin aficionados out there, and welcome to the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Today we have the 10p coin for you from Great Britain or the United Kingdom. 10p for 10 pence. And this, of course, is the 1992 version of it. You can see the 1992 right here. And we just have a pile of these 1992s. And some of you wonder why, who collect these. These are called the small type, and they were minted from essentially from 1990 to 1997, but none of the 90 or 91 coins were general circulation, and none of the 93, 94, 1993, 1994 coins were generally circulated. So essentially what you had for this particular portrait, which is the third portrait, or the Makloof portrait, small type, is you only had circulating mintages of these in 92, 95, 96, and 97. So there's only 4 years in which these were circulated in general circulation by the mint. And there also is another reason why you see so many 1992s, and that is because the prior coin, and this was what they called the large type 10 new pence. So you see on the back of this one, when they went to decimalization in Britain, they changed it to the new pence. Um, this particular coin, the large type, they stopped minting this in 1981, and they did not mint this coin for general circulation until 1992. So for 11 years, there were no 10p's minted, except for a few specialized proof or mint issues. So from 1981 was the last year they minted the big type. 1992 was the first year that they really had a general circulation of the small type. So for those 11 years, none were minted. So guess what they did in 1992? They minted 1.413 billion of these. Just a huge number. 1.413 billion of these, and that's why when you find one of these um, third portrait small types, the Makloof portrait, you're almost always going to find a 1992. What did they make in other years? Well, in 95 they made 35 million. In 96 they made 118 million. And in 97 they made 57 million. Does that mean you're absolutely never going to find another one other than the 92? No, it doesn't. And so I'll show you. Here's a 1996 here. So here's a 96. In 96 they made 118 million of it. So that's the second most likely one you're going to find is the 1996. Um, a little harder to find are the 95 and the 97. The 97 they made 57.6 million, and the 95 they made 35.4 million. Another reason these are a little harder to find is that they are pulling these out of circulation. The British government would like to move to the newer coins, and so these are all being pulled out of circulation. So we have the 1992s. We have a pile of them here, and so let's just kind of clean them up a little bit and take a good look at some of them. All right. So let's get a nice shiny one to take a look at here. And there's a pretty good one right there. And we'll take that one from the front, and then let's see if we can find one that has a good back on it. There we go. So, and then we will punch it up a little bit and change the lighting a little bit so you can see it better. And there you have it. This is the 1992 10p coin from Great Britain. The front here says Elizabeth II here. Over here it says DG Reg FD 1992, which essentially is by the grace of God, Queen and Defender of the Faith, 1992. We see it has a beaded outer rim, and you can see that it has a beaded outer rim on both sides of this coin. She is wearing the George the Fourth state diadem. Now, if you collect British coins, you'll know that there are different. The Queen, for different portraits, wore different crowns or diadems or tiaras. Um, this is the prior one. This is the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland with the two prongs up here. This is the George the Fourth state diadem. Essentially, it's that particular crown. It has the crosses in the fleur-de-lis on the top. And this, what obviously, this is one of the ones. My favorite part of this one is the necklace, which I think is a pearl necklace, but I'm not positive about that. If we tip it up on the side, we see that it has a reeded rim. And going to the back, same back on both of these, so I'll just flip it over so you can see them both at the same time as I go over the back. So on the back, we see again the beaded outer rim. We see the crowned lion. So here's the lion wearing a crown. Let's see, get that a little bit better. And one of the things you notice down here is the number of tufts of hair coming out of the lion's belly and down through the neck. Sometimes what you'll see is a kind of messy foot here. Sometimes you'll see kind of different kinds of tufts coming out of here. And then also, if you go way down, let me see if I can find a way to show you. If you go way down in here, you can see what looks like some initials across the bottom here, right above on the belly part. Now, this coin, the front of the coin, as I said, was a Makloof engraving or portrait. The back of this coin is also engraved, and the back of this coin is a Christopher Ironside engraving on the T-piece. So Christopher Ironside did the back or the reverse. Makloof did the front or the obverse, and that's Raphael David Makloof and Christopher Ironside. And this portrait actually came with the coin from the old. So Christopher Ironside did this particular portrait here, and you can see now in this one, a much more pronounced down here. It almost looks like numbers when you look at some of these. I'm honestly not sure what it is. I don't know if it's his initials or he just happened to put some tufts down there across the belly or what, but on this one it's not so evident just because it's a smaller coin and maybe it's a little bit more worn. So how many of these did they make in 1992? 1.4 billion. They made these again, they're copper nickel, they weigh 6.5 grams, are 24.5 millimeters in diameter and 1.85 millimeters in thickness. All right, I should tell you one other thing about these is that there are two types that you might find on these, and they're defined by the number of the tufts of hair down here. So there's one type in which you're going to find 4 tufts of hair under the chest, and that's called type A. And then there's one type where you're going to find 5 tufts of hair under the chest. And another way that you can determine the difference in these is some of them, the one is directly aligned over that dot right there, and some of them it isn't. So let's check on this one. Yeah, directly aligned over. And we can look at a few other ones. Oh, I don't want to look at that one because that's the big one. Let's look at a couple of these other 1992s and see if we can find one that isn't. Okay, so see on that one how the one kind of goes between the 2 dots here, and on this one it's directly over, and on this one it's directly over. So this is called a type B, where there's a different number of tufts of hair under the chest, and the one comes between 2 ones. And this is called the type A over here, where the one goes directly above the dot. See the 2 dots here, and then the 1 dot here. All right, that's all we have today from the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Thanks for watching our videos, and we'd love to have you subscribe to our channel.